What's up, sports bettors? I got tons of sharp plays for you on PrizePicks. So honestly, without further ado, let's just get into it. I got a lot of picks to go through. So let's start here. So this is called the Odds Jam screen. And really the purpose of the screen is to see where books are setting the lines at different levels. So right here, this is what jumped out to me, is you can see right here, Buddy Hield, his line is 19.5 on PrizePicks. All the sports books have his line at 18.5. So you have PrizePicks at 19.5. Then you have dozens of data points telling you, yo, this line should be at 18.5. So when we talk about sharp sports betting, I talk about this all the time. Are my picks locks? Absolutely not. I'm not saying this play is guaranteed to win. But again, PrizePicks, sports betting in general, it's all about finding an edge, a mathematical edge over the books. And I'm saying this play is profitable on PrizePicks. We literally have dozens of data points telling us, yo, this line should be at 19.5 or 18.5. FanDuel even has the under favored. Right? If you take a look at FanDuel, they have the under juiced. They have the under favored at minus 115 odds. The over is only minus 111, so lines are juiced towards the under very slightly. But still, DraftKings has the over favored. Long story short, PrizePicks 19.5, every other data point 18.5. Slam the under, right? PrizePicks 19.5, every other book 18.5. Take the under. So that's the first play I'm on. Buddy Hield, under 19.5 points plus assists. Now, I think I had another one, so we can just, we'll see if it loads. Well, actually, let's just skip it. So the next play I have, typically after the screen, before the screen, this is actually the main tool I use, this is called the Odds Jams Positive EV tool. And what this tool does is it literally, just like the screen, pulls in all the data from sportsbooks, all the data, from PrizePicks, all the data from all these different books, and it just shows you where there's value mathematically. Right? So what I mean by that is right here, you can see, okay, we can get Aaron Nesmith under 4.5 rebounds on PrizePicks and a 5 flex at minus 119 odds. So I've said this so many times, but I'll repeat myself because it's important, is on PrizePicks, you need to be placing 5 and 6 pick flexes. So obviously I'm not all winners. But you can see everything I'm placing, you're going to notice on PrizePicks will be 6 pick flexes or it will be 5 pick flexes. And I'm just showing you, what I'm putting my own money on. I put my money where my mouth is. And I've gone through the math tons of times. The spreadsheet will be in the description. 5, 6 pick flexes are mathematically optimal. You got to be going with them on PrizePicks. So anyways, let's go back here. Aaron Nesmith, under 4.5 rebounds. We're getting minus 119 odds on PrizePicks and a 5 or a 6 flex. Don't play 2-pick power plays. Why would you play a 2-pick power play with Nesmith under 4.5 rebounds at minus 137 when there's other books, 888 Sport and Barstool, offering it at minus 125, right? If you can get a better price on Barstool, you can get a better price on Betley, why would you take minus 137 in your PrizePicks entry? You should only be playing this. The value's only there if you're playing it in a 5 flex. And you can see here, the way I kind of think about the EV tool is it compares prices, right? We just saw the previous tool compared where sportsbooks have the line set at different levels. So here, it's not like some sportsbooks have Nesmith's, rebounds line at 5.5 or 5. All the books have his line at 4.5 rebounds, but what you'll notice is all the sports books have the under heavily favored, right? DraftKings minus 140, DRF minus 125. So we have dozens of data points now this time telling us, yo, Nesmith's under should be heavily favored around minus 140 odds. We're getting minus 119 odds in a 5 or a 6 flex. So that's a play we want to be on. Right? Dozens of data points saying, yo, the under should be heavily favored, heavily juiced. Sportsbooks imply win probabilities through their odds, right? So we have tons of books saying, yo, Nesmith under 4.5 rebounds should be heavily favored. We're getting minus 119 in a PrizePicks 5 flex. That's a play we want to go with. Do I know anything about Aaron Nesmith? No, and I don't care. I'm following the data. I'm following the value. Data is what makes money. 99% of sports bettors trust their gut. That's why 99% lose money. And, that's why the books are in business. The people following data, like every other industry in the world, are the ones making money. So what I mean, by the way, I think it's a kind of interesting topic, so let's just go ahead and talk about it for a sec. When I talk about, books imply win probabilities through their odds, what I mean by that is like, okay, what you can see right here is Fox Bet, or what's a better example? maybe here between DRF and FanDuel. So you can see DRF, right? If we put in their odds, they have the over. I don't know what this sports book is, but I guess it's a sports book in the United States that we have on OddsJam. But you can see they have the under favored, but they're not as aggressive as FanDuel or DraftKings, right? DraftKings and FanDuel have the under juice to like minus 140. DRF is only minus 125. So if you put that into a calculator, you know what this calculator does? It's literally the most important calculator in sports betting. If you don't understand this text inside and out, please stop betting on sports until you understand this text inside and out. But long story short, what you'll see is, okay, this calculator is telling me, yo, Neesmith going under is 51.8% to occur according to DRF's market. So basically this sportsbook, their market, right? Their market is spitting out that the under is slightly favored to occur at 51.8%. FanDuel's more bullish on the under. So if we put in plus 112, minus 138, now it's 55.14%. Sportsbooks imply win probabilities through their odds. The more juiced a book has the under, it's just rational sports betting. The more favored an under is, the more likely, or the more juiced a line is, the more likely that sportsbook believes it is to hit, right? So these sportsbooks, billion-dollar companies, most of them, not DRF, but DraftKings, FanDuel, right? These are billion-dollar companies, right? They're taking tons of bets, moving around odds due to supply and demand. No offense. All the people working at FanDuel, they have thousands of employees, traders, modeling people. Their model is probably better than your model. No offense. So follow the data and use FanDuel's lines to pick off PrizePicks. And when FanDuel screws up, use other books' lines to pick off FanDuel, right? You can see there's good bets on FanDuel. There's good bets on PrizePicks. Kessler over 12.5 points. So it's not just like there's only profitable bets on PrizePicks. The reason I focus on PrizePicks is it's very popular, right? That's the reason we focus on PrizePicks a lot. It's not because, all the money's on PrizePicks. I mean, if we go to last year, I only made 1.5K off of PrizePicks. And I'm not saying that's like bad. I'm not trying to brag. But the point is, you want numerous sports books. You can see this is a very small fraction of my 2022 profit. And the reason you need multiple sports books is different books, different lines, right? So here, it's like, the values on PrizePicks. Here, the values on Bovada. So the more books you select, just for this video, I set the max odds to minus 119 because that's PrizePicks 5 Flex. So, but long story short, you get the point. More books, more profitable bets. So the EV plays I went with, Neesmith under 4.5 rebounds, Kessler over 12.5 points. A lot of people will comment on Twitter and they'll be like, but I got a feeling about Walker Kessler. Again, stop trusting your gut. Your gut is not smart. Your gut is what loses to the sports books. No offense. So again, no vig odds calculator, real important to know, real important to understand. So then if we switch over, we have DeRozan over 4.5 assists. Here, all books have the over heavily favored. Frickin' Bovada has it at minus 160, and this market is crossed. We have arbitrage. Bovada minus 160, 41 cents of improvement on PrizePicks and a 5 Flex. Absolute no-brainer. So we went DeRozan over 4.5 assists. Josh Hart under 10.5 points. Jaden McDaniels over 13.5. Yada, yada, yada. So EV plays, EV plays, EV plays. So one thing I did want to mention, and then we'll get into the picks. Well, we can actually start to get into some of the picks because why not? So let's go here to open entries. And my first one is Walker Kessler over 12.5 points. Draymond under 17.5 points plus rebounds. Barbanov over 1.5 shots on goal. Kyle Anderson over 18.5 points plus assists. Neesmith under 4.5 rebounds. Only difference here is I switched out Heel. That play we went through under 19.5 points plus assists. For the Neesmith play, I didn't want to include two Pacers in the same pick and take both unders because my assumption is, I'm just not sure about the correlation. The only thing you got to be careful of on PrizePicks is taking plays from the same game, right? This is called correlation, right? Like if Mahomes goes over his passing yards line, Kelsey is more likely to go over, right? So those are things you got to think about on PrizePicks because, again, they don't switch their payouts depending on your picks. So you got to think about correlation yourself. Right? So, it probably doesn't make sense to take Luka and Kyrie both over, 30.5 for Luka, over 24.5 for Kyrie in the same game, right? Because if Luka goes off, then it's more likely he's taking the shots and Kyrie's going under 24.5, right? So, anyways, here's the second play. And then one thing I wanted to mention is I went with Connor McDavid to score a goal. And this was not on the EV tool. So the way the positive EV tool works is, again, scanning all these sports books. I mean, I literally think there's like 100 something on OddsJam. I mean, we can just select them all, see what pops up, and then we can actually increase this max odds. Let's kind of see what's out there to 190. You can see the top plays on PointsBet, right? So the EV tool, though, it requires there's a minimum number of sports books posting odds for OddsJam to be confident enough to recommend the play, right? So here, let's go to whatever, this play on Tobias Harris. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sportsbooks posting odds. Well, the OddsJam column, we just copy Pinnacle, so I guess it's actually 9 or whatever. But there's tons of data points, right, in the market. And it's same with here, right? Kevin Porter over 6.5 assists. And assure you there will be tons of books with his line at 6.5 assists. So we have tons of, things we can compare to. All these books are saying the same thing. Kevin Porter's over should be heavily favored around minus 140. Wow, we're getting a lot of value in a PrizePicks 5 flex at minus 119. Right? Tons of value in this over at minus 119. Right? 40 cents of improvement from Pinnacle, one of the sharpest bookmakers out there. We're getting 40 cents, 30 cents of improvement. Wow, I'm bad at math today. 10 cents of improvement from BetRivers, so you're never going to get a perfect answer as to what should the odds be set at, because these books set lines independently. But you should know, like, certain books like BetOnline and Pinnacle are sharper. Sharper bookmakers is kind of the word, where their odds are more accurate. You should put more weight into their odds. But again, OddsJam does that automatically, so whatever. But this play on McDavid was not on the EV tool, right? So I got a lot of these plays. I get a lot of plays from the EV tool, and then we can just go ahead, you don't have to see all sports books. So if you just use DraftKings, FanDuel, Caesars, here's the best play, on these sports books. But whatever. Anyways, let's go back here. So why isn't this McDavid play on OddsJam EV tool? Is what you're going to notice is most books don't even offer an odd on the under. These are called one-way markets. It's kind of like being like, you can buy a stock for $10. And then it's like, can I sell it? And they're like, no. You can just buy for $10. You can't sell. That's kind of what a one-way market is, right? So long story short, OddsJam can't take the midpoint and try to figure out what the odds should be. So there's not enough books for this play to show up on the EV tool, but you'll notice Pinnacle, sharpest bookmaker out there, has the over heavily juiced to minus 156. We're getting minus 119 in a PrizePicks 5 or 6 flex. Seems pretty good. Let's take it, right? So you can use different tools. Like every tool on OddsJam, is slightly different. So like Pinnacle here, they have the over at minus 156, the under at plus 117. So if we put in that market, you can see Pinnacle, right? Their model, most important calculator on OddsJam, is saying, this is 56.94% to hit. So then if I go over here and I'm like, what is my ROI if I'm playing PrizePicks 5 flexes where I'm 56.94% to hit all my picks? And you're going to notice your ROI would be 18.8%, right? So another thing I should mention too is, like, a lot of people are like, how's your ROI like 12%? Is you have to remember, like, there are 5 picks in your PrizePicks entry. So if we go back to OddsJam, right, like this play has a 4.53% profit margin. And then if we go to the next profitable play, so let's get rid of frickin' FanDuel. Let's put in PrizePicks, because why not? So you can see, like, okay, like, we got some options. Some pretty good options out there. But you'll notice, like, some plays are more profitable than others. This one is 1.27%. This is 1.05%. But if you include them in the same slip, plus this play on Curry, which is roughly 2%, it's like 2% plus 1.5 plus 1%. It's like, okay, like, you add them together and you basically get what your ROI would be on a 5 flex. But again, you got to go with the 5 flexes. So anyways, here's a play I went with for McDavid. Boom, boom, boom. DeRozan over 4.5 assists. Josh Hart under 10.5 points. Jaden McDaniels over 13.5 points. Julius Randle under 13.5 rebounds plus assists. And that's really all I got. I think I made a video about the other plays. Hopefully this video was helpful. Let's make money.